What's different with your team the last two games than when they were losing 12 out of 14?
Well, we're just playing better. I mean, we've made a lot more shots. Our defense has been consistent. We haven't turned the ball over, and we've had stretches where we played well and didn't get wins, but we're finishing games. We're competing, and making plays that help you win.
Did anything that you have done differently, or just that your plan, your message is now finally getting through?
Well, it's a process in everything you do, and they played better earlier, and then we slumped a little bit. We won 6 out of 7. We got to 16 and 16, and then we struggled, and then we had some injuries, and things just kind of snowballed, and we had to start over from square one and keep building. And offensively, I think our ball movement is better and our execution is better. I think the players understand a little bit better on how to play together to win, and our purpose and our aim is to go out there and on defense stop the other team from scoring, not just stopping my man. Offensively, the team scoring versus just me scoring, and I think they're just starting to trust more and believe more.
Lionel, you mentioned the 12 of 14, and it was right after you'd won 6 of 7 and got to 16 and 16. And then Darren Williams got hurt in that game when you were 16 and 16 against Miami, and he was basically out for that entire 14-game stretch. He's been back for these last 2 wins. How much of the turning of the page these last 2 games has to do with him coming back?
Well, certainly having a healthy player that of his caliber to be back and contribute has played a big part. And, even last night we went small. We had, Joe at 4 and Darren at 2 and Allen Anderson at 3 and Jared Jack at the point. We were playing with Brooke at 5 and sometimes Mace at 5. But, to have the extra people to have more versatility, but just having another player with experience and talent to go out there and make plays, and it just helps you. The more players you have that can play on a high level, the better your chances are.
Talking to Nets head coach Lionel Hollins here on the Michael Kay Show. Coach, you mentioned Jack, and even while Darren was out, Jared Jack's played very, very well. And you did have a little bit of this yesterday, as you just mentioned. Would you ever think about starting the two of them in the backcourt at the same time?
I think about it, but, it's not something that, I necessarily want to do right now. It's nice when they go in and play together, and, the way it's worked out, I can bring them in and play them together for the rest of the quarter, and then I can take Jared out at the start of the quarter or 2 minutes into the quarter and then bring him back later on. But it's not something I just want to do for 40 minutes, but we have played a big bulk of games with both of them in the game.
What does that do for your confidence when you go up against the Toronto team in their building? You beat them up pretty good last night. Is that something you think you can really build on?
Well, we've been building, long before that. Beating them was good. They're the division leaders and, one of the top records in the East and in the league. And to go in there and get a win was certainly satisfying. We've gone down to Washington and had a big win down there. We just have to stay healthy, and we have to keep playing the way we're playing and getting better and see what happens.
Now, you won 6 of 7 with Darren and Brooke coming off the bench, and obviously you've won these last 2 the same way. Do you foresee a change happening with those 2 in the lineup, or you like them coming off the bench, Coach?
Well, it's like I said before. When those guys were starting, we had such lulls in the second quarter, into the first quarter, second quarter, and them both getting hurt and us starting to play better. And when they came back, we had more balance as a team. And so them coming off the bench has certainly contributed to our success. They're good play, but the roles that they're playing that balances our team. And I just think that, as long as, we're doing well, I don't foresee any changes, but, it's not etched in stone that they'll never start again. I mean, it's just the way it is at the moment.
Lionel, I think that your post-game press conferences on Yes are must-see TV because you're not like a lot of coaches / managers in sports right now. I'm fascinated by how blunt you are, and I'm wondering, today's athlete doesn't really want to hear the truth that much. Do you get any pushback from your players that they don't like the fact that you're so honest in your assessment publicly?
Well, I haven't had any conversations where they've said, don't say this or that. I think what I tell the media, I've already told the players. They understand. I mean, the questions are, why did you take that guy out of the game? Because he wasn't guarding his man. Or he was making too many turnovers. It's just a fact. I mean, I tell them the same thing. It's not like I'm being blind. It's just, it is what it is. I could say, I took him out of the game, because I just thought that I wanted to go a different. I mean, players, I believe, like the truth. I mean, it's hard to accept in the beginning, but a mature player who wants to win wants to hear the truth. You can go out there and say, guy goes 0 for 20, and you say, he was okay, he did a good job. He shot the ball poorly. That's all you have to say. I mean, well, what else? It's the obvious. So it's not like I'm speaking something that's not obvious. But, I think you guys get more out of that than the players. I mean, the players don't, they understand, and they're willing to accept, positive criticism when it's warranted. And it's not even, like I'm just stating the fact. We played well. We played poorly. We get beat by 30 points. Well, we played poorly. I mean, or should I say, we played great, but the other team was just that much better than us. I mean, it's just, I don't get into that stuff. You guys, that's for you guys.
But in truth, Lionel, I mean, you're the outlier. Most of your coaching compadres, they give us that pablum and pap. Well, you know what? They wanted a little bit more than they never say what you stand out because you're honest, and it's refreshing. I just wonder how the players take it. You say you haven't had any pushback.
No, I mean, and I don't think Popovich sugarcoats. I don't think Jerry Sloan used to sugarcoat. I don't think Thibodeau sugarcoats. I don't think Van Gundy sugarcoats, nor did his brother sugarcoat. I think all coaches, maybe there's some that don't, but the coaches that I know and I admire and respect, they just say what is. It's not like I'm out to browbeat anybody. It's not out that I'm out to put somebody down. They're just obvious answers.
Lionel, I'd love to be able to get your perspective as a coach. We've been talking all week about the decision, Seahawks throwing the ball, the interception, and Pete Carroll and how he's handled what the entire world believes was a mistake on that play. As a head coach, how do you handle mistakes that you make and not let it affect you moving forward?
Well, first of all, you just made a comment. You said, how does it affect you when you make a mistake? What makes that's your opinion that Pete Carroll made a mistake. I mean, he made a decision that didn't work out. If the kid doesn't make a great play on the ball and he scores a touchdown, everybody would say, what a great play, because everybody thought Marshawn was going to run the ball. When they were in the overtime against Green Bay, nobody criticized that they threw that ball like 3 straight times way down the field. They completed all of them, and they win the game. And everybody's talking about what a great comeback. I mean, you do what you do based on what you know from your science part, the analytics, and you do what you do based on your gut feeling, and you live with it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes you make a bad decision on something, and it works out. Like, you put a guy in a game, and the matchups aren't quite right, but it works out.